welcome into the LSN Broadcast Center for the IWLCA All-American Special right here on LSN. I'm Megan Triplett, and we have a lot to get to from the year that was from the Women's Division III. So let's get right to it and tell you who made the first team. And how about we start with the attack position? Tufts player Dakota Adamak was named to the first team. The senior was named the NASCAC Player of the Year for the second straight season and was also a first-team pick for the second year in a row. Now, the returning All-American finished the season with 43 goals and 7 assists for 50 points. This season against Wesleyan, Dakota set a school record, recording 8 goals in her team's 17-10 win. And then there is Eliza Barr from Gettysburg. The junior emerged as the team's top offensive performer with 52 goals and a school and Centennial Conference record of 75 assists. Her 127 points marked the second best total by a Gettysburg player in program history. In one game alone, Barr had 13 assists and 15 points and a win over Westminster in the NCAA playoffs, which was a big example of why she was named Conference Attacker of the Year. And let's talk about Megan Fox. For the second year in a row, Fox out of York College made the first team. The junior is a 3-time All-CAC attack as the Spartans won a school record 17 games, a Capital Athletic Conference championship, and a third consecutive berth in the NCAA Elite 8. Fox finished the year with a school record 93 points on a school record 69 goals and 24 assists. And now back to the NASCAC. Abby Manning from Wesleyan had an incredible junior season, setting program records in both points with 84 and in goals with 69. She finished ranked first in the NASCAC in points and goals and fourth in draw controls. She finished with 19 points and 9 draw controls in the NCAA tournament, helping her team to the Final Four. And now she adds first-team All-American to her already impressive season. And let's get to the champs. Representing Middlebury on the first team is Emma McDonough. Now, the senior led Middlebury to a 22-1 record. She led the team in goals with 63 and in points with 81, setting career highs in both categories. She is a 3-time All-NASCAC honoree and was selected to the 2018 and the 2019 NCAA All-Tournament teams. And then how about this for a sophomore? Katie Miller led Bowdoin this season with 60 goals, which was the second most in a single season in Polar Bear women's lacrosse history. She became the fastest Polar Bear ever to surpass 100 career goals and currently has 110 goals and 24 assists in her career. And now she adds first-team All-American to that resume. In the last attack, his first team is senior Hallie Tucker from Washington and Lee. The 2019 ODAC Offensive Player of the Year led Washington and Lee to an 18-3 record, a conference title, and a trip to the NCAA Division III Regional Semifinals. Tucker totaled an ODAC high 69 goals this season to go with 17 assists and 86 points. The goals and points totals are both the second most in a single season in program history. Early in the season, Tucker broke the IWL career draw controls record and finished with 251 over her 4 seasons. Alrighty, let's move on to the midfield position and the players that made the first team. First up, Eliza Dennis. The sophomore enjoyed another fantastic campaign at Bowdoin, ranking among the team leaders in goals with 46, draw controls with 33, and ground balls with 29, and she had 20 caused turnovers. She also surpassed the 100-point mark earlier this season and has 87 goals and 22 assists in her career. All right, let's go a little south of Maine to New Jersey now and talk about the New Jersey Athletic Conference Midfielder of the Year. That's Taylor Gretz. The senior from Rowan University finished the season with 35 goals and 10 assists for 45 points. The IWLCA First Team All-American was named to the All-Conference First Team 3 times and received the IWLCA Boardwalk All-Region Honors 4 straight seasons. Gretz ended her career as the school's record holder in draw controls with 292, ground balls with 207, and she had 110 caused turnovers. Then there is Wesleyan senior Abby Horst. She's an IWLCA All-American for the second year in a row. Horst finished her Wesleyan career as one of the best midfielders in school history. She finished this season second on the team in points and second in goals. She also finished second in draw controls with 72 and fourth in caused turnovers with 22, which all helped lead her team to the Final Four and a number 4 ranking, which was the best ever in program history. Middlebury sophomore Erin Nicholas made the first team. Nicholas contributed at both ends of the field for the Panthers. She secured a team-leading 77 draw controls and ranked second with 24 caused turnovers, which helped the team finish the season on a Division III best 22-game winning streak, chipping in offensively with 24 goals and 27 points. And the last midfielder that made first team is Courtney Patterson from Gettysburg. The junior was the catalyst for Gettysburg's domination on the draw and played a significant role on both sides of the field. She was named Centennial Conference Midfielder of the Year and earned her second All-Conference honor after posting a team-best 100 draw controls and tying for the team lead with 34 ground balls. She also racked up a career-high 50 points on 39 goals and assists. Now on to the first team defenders. Caitlin Anderson of Washington is on the first team. The junior was named the 2019 ODAC Defensive Player of the Year after she helped lead her team to that 18-3 record, a conference title, and a trip to the NCAA Division III regional semis. She started 19 games leading the team in caused turnovers with 23 and ground balls with 38. And as for senior Nicole Clotter, the York defender is now a 3-time IWLCA first-team All-American. Clotter was named the Capital Athletic Conference Player of the Year for the second time in her Spartan career, while she earned first-team All-Metro Region accolades for the third time in her career. She finished season with a school record 116 draws and totaled 55 ground balls and 28 ground balls in 2019. Maggie Hotz from Franklin and Marshall made the first team for the second year in a row. The junior was named the Centennial Conference Defender of the Year and is a 2-time first-team All-Centennial Conference. She led the conference with 34 caused turnovers on the year and helped cement a defense that held opponents to only 7.29 goals a game during the regular season. Then there's sophomore Addie Mitchell was a key component of that Middlebury defensive unit that ranked among Division III's best throughout the season. The Panthers allowed over 6 goals per game, which led the NASCAC and held 21 of 23 opponents to single-digit goals. This spring, Mitchell set Middlebury single-season records for caused turnovers with 44 and ground balls with 70, while also leading the NASCAC in both of those categories. Wesleyan senior Carolyn Scaglione was named an All-American for the third year in a row. The 4-year starter helped her team to their best year in school history, finishing with 17-4 this season and a trip to the Final Four. She was third on the team in GBs with 40, first with caused turnovers with 35, and third in draw controls. She had 62. She helped her team go from 5 wins her freshman year to a Final Four team in her senior campaign, increasing their win total each season. And the last defender on the first team is Hetty Veith of Tufts. This is her second year receiving IWLCA All-American honors. The senior and NASCAC Defensive Player of the Year led her team with 39 ground balls and 21 caused turnovers, which helped the Jumbos record a stingy 7.87 goals against average this spring. As for the goalie, Hannah Ashby takes home the honor of being named to the first team. The Mary Washington goalie helped UMW reach the NCAA tournament for the 4th consecutive season. Ashby was a force in cage and led the Capital Athletic Conference in save percentage at over 53%. Ashby was named First Team All-Region for First Team All-CAC and was awarded Player of the Week 3 times. And now we bring in Amy Patton, who has to break down this first team for us. She has several years of coaching experience from the college game to the professional game, and now you're the assistant coach at Middlebury. And Amy, we just broke down the first team. What stood out to you the most about this first team group of players?
Well, obviously, they're incredibly talented, and I think, it covers all aspects of the game. When you look at that group, uh, as I said, speed, quickness, great stick skills, goalies that obviously can stop the ball. So I just think they're a really dynamic group, and I'm just so excited for all of them as it's such a nice honor.
I don't envy the people who have to kind of break these players down. But what do you have to do throughout your season to be a first team All-American as opposed to second and third team?
Well, those players, I think, really stand out in what they do for their teams. They have roles on their teams where if you were to take them off the field, most of those teams would operate significantly differently. So I think those players always have something that they stand out about with their skills, whether it's, cause turnovers in the defensive end or a takeaway defender, that's going to stop that top attacker, could be a draw specialist, or on the attack, a scorer or dodger. So I think they have standout skills, but besides that, they really have those intangibles that, opposing coaches notice, just in that they might be mentally tough, or the ball might go through them on the attack and they're that attacking leader. I mean, most of them have great leadership skills in some way.
We'll hear more from Amy in just a moment, but coming up next, we aren't done with giving out the D3 honors. We'll tell you who made the second team and the third team after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now that we've told you who's on the first team, let's talk about the second team. Liz from the Division III, so let's get right to it. First up is Reagan Cook. The junior midfielder recorded her third All-Metro Region campaign as York captured a school record 17 wins, a Capital Athletic Conference championship, and their third straight Elite 8 game. Cook was third on the team in scoring with 65 points on 52 goals and 13 assists. She was 6 for 19 in free position shots, while Cook also recorded 31 ground balls, 9 caused turnovers, and 5 draw controls. Then there is junior Cara Finnerty. She was the spark to Bowden's prolific offense, leading the team with 28 assists while also winning a team-high 83 draw controls and causing 20 turnovers. Her 56 career assists ranked 5th all-time at Bowden. There's senior Holly Height. She made the second team. The senior and now two-time All-American led Meredith to its 6th consecutive conference championship. As a true two-way midfielder, Holly leads the Angels with 95 points, 41 ground balls, and 38 caused turnovers. Her biggest contribution was her dominant performance on the draw circle, finishing the season with 222 draws. She was selected as the USA South Player of the Year and All-Conference Midfield First Team. All right, let's go back to York. Devin Hersey is a two-time All-Region selection. Hurst set the school record for career assists with 86, while she also set the single-season school record in assists with 43. Hersey was second on the team in scoring with 76 points on 33 goals and those 43 assists. Hersey was 10 for 20 in free position shots to go along with 29 ground balls and 13 caused turnovers. A first-time All-American is Cara Pooley. She led Hamilton, or tied for the lead in all major stats categories, including points with 44, goals with 23, 21 assists, 37 caused turnovers, and 37 ground balls and 54 draw controls. The senior finished her career her 64-game career with 135 points on 93 goals and 42 assists. Cooley is one of only a handful of players in team history to record more than 100 career points, draws, ground balls, and caused turnovers. And our last midfielder making the second team is Annie Sullivan. The NASCAC All-Conference second-team pick is receiving All-American honors for the second year in a row, as she is one of the nation's top two-way players. Sullivan scored 31 goals with 7 assists offensively and played key role defensively on the team that allowed 8.15 goals against average. Now let's get back to the attack position. Claire Dunbar of Amherst makes the second team. The sophomore had a breakout season in which she ranked first on the Mammoths in goals, assists, and in points. She was a key component of Amherst's noteworthy free position percentage that finished the year ranked third in the nation in efficiency with 55%. Dunbar went 10 for 13 on free position opportunities to go along with 18 ground balls and 12 caused turnovers in the attack ride. Let's stay in the NASCAC and talk about Jane Early. The versatile player for the national champs, the Panthers, ranked second on the team in goals with 51 and in points with 68, while she was third in draws with 50. Early factored in on 8 of Middlebury's 10 goals in the NASCAC title game, helping the Panthers capture the championship. Early led Middlebury in scoring during their NCAA tournament with 19 points in 5 games, and she recorded 20 goals in her final 6 postseason games. Emily Games also joins the long list of NASCAC players being recognized. The junior from Tufts broke the single-season record with 62 goals on the year. Plus, her 33 free position goals were 13 more than anyone else in the NASCAC, which is why she has been selected to the IWLCA Pilgrim Region First Team for 3 straight years. And then for the second year in a row, Mackenzie McGuire from Mary Washington has been named to the second team. The senior helped UMW reach the NCAA tournament for the 4th consecutive season and guided the Eagles to their highest ranking ever at number 2 in the IWLCA. McGuire was a force at the attack position as she led the team, as well as the Capital Athletic Conference with 97 points. Let's now talk about a player from Geneseo, Hannah Marafiotti. The Conference Player of the Year finished with a single-season program record 87 points this spring, including 64 goals that tied for the second highest total in the conference. In only 2 seasons, Marafiotti ranks 13th in program history with 135 career points. She also led the team with 38 caused turnovers and finished 4th with 41 ground balls. Now to the defense for the second team. Jane Goodspeed led Denison to their second straight NCAA tournament regional semifinal following a 16-5 record in 2019. Goodspeed continued to anchor the Big Red defense in 2019 with 77 ground balls, 169 draw controls, and 52 caused turnovers, leading the team in all 3 categories. Then from Franklin and Marshall, there is Megan Jackson. The sophomore started all 20 games and led her team in draws with 65. Jackson was named the first team All-Centennial Conference and the first team All-Metro Region this year. Michaela Montgomery from William Smith was named the second team as just a sophomore. Michaela led William Smith's defense that ranked 15th in the nation in scoring defense. The 2019 Liberty League Defensive Player of the Year led her team with 93 draws, 62 ground balls, and 46 caused turnovers. Montgomery also led the Liberty League in caused turnovers and caused turnovers per game and was second in ground balls and ground balls per game. And leading one of the best defensive units in all of NCAA Division III, Becca Russo was honored with second team. The junior was an integral part of a historic season for Scranton in 2019, as the Royals finished with their best record in program history at 16-3. Russo ended the year leading the Landmark Conference in ground balls with 74 and was second in the conference in caused turnovers with 41. And representing the NASCAC is Kelly Seberg. She is the last defender to make the second team. The junior and the 2019 Berkshire All-Region First Team members started all 20 games for the Mammoths and racked up 28 ground balls. She was also third on the team in caused turnovers with 22. Alrighty, we got two goalies. They made second team this year. First up is LaxSportsNetwork Grant, who finished her junior campaign with another standout year, earning first team All-NASCAC after a 2018 second team All-NASCAC honor. Allegra's stellar play in the net helped her team to the best year in school history. Allegra helped the defense to finish first in the NASCAC in goals against average and goals against. And then there is Franklin and Marshall goalie Emily Kitchen. The freshman ranked fourth nationally in save percentage. And just her first year, Kitchen was named the first team All-Centennial Conference and the first team All-Metro Region. During the season, she was named the Conference Defender of the Week 3 times and was named twice to the IWLCA Defender of the Week. Welcome back to the IWLCA All-American Special. So now you know the first team and the second team. We have finally arrived to the third team All-Americans. So let's jump right back in. Let's start with the attack once again. Julia Albert from the University of Mary Washington. In her final season as an Eagle, Albert led the Capital Athletic Conference with 72 goals, garnering a first-team All-CAC selection. She also helped UMW achieve its highest ranking ever in the IWLCA polls, reaching number 2 at the week of March 4th after starting the season 4-0. Albert finishes her career ranked 9th in school's history for career goal scorers with 150 goals. And next up is another CAC attacker, Sarah Culver from Christopher Newport University. The three-time All-Region selection became the 7th player in Capital Athletic Conference history to reach the 200 career goal mark, scoring 211. During her senior campaign, Culver netted 59 goals. That's good for 6th all-time on the single-season scoring list for CNU. Plus, she thrived from the 8-meter fan, leading the conference with 18 free position goals and setting a new program record with 61 free position goals in her career. And then Alexandria Fitzpatrick from the College of New Jersey also comes in as a third-team All-American. The junior was named the NJAC Attack Player of the Year, finishing second in league in goals and points. Fitzpatrick scored in 22 straight games dating back to the 2018 NCAA tournament, including a season-high 6 goals against Rowan back in mid-April. She finishes her third year as a Lion with 67 goals, solidifying her as the team's leading scorer for the second year in a row. Our next attack All-American comes from a tiny school out in California. Corey Hack from Claremont Mudscripts Colleges. The Athena's captain built up quite a resume in her senior year. CMS Female Athlete of the Year, First Team All-West Region, and the SCIAC Offensive Athlete of the Year for the second time in a row. Hack recorded 72 goals and 86 points in 2019, surpassing the 200 career goals mark on senior day against Pomona Pitzer. And staying out west is our fifth attacker, Colorado College junior Eva King. The Baltimore, Maryland native became the second player in school history to record 100 or more points in a single season, tallying 49 goals and 51 assists. King has also eclipsed the 200 career point mark during the SCAC championship this season. The Tiger attacker will continue rewriting the Colorado College history books as she looks to become the all-time leader in career assists during her senior campaign. She sits just 22 assists shy of former teammate Steph Kelly. And speaking of record breakers, our sixth All-American attacker did just that at Babson this season. Lexi Linigan set new program records in single-season goals and points in her final year as a Beaver. She netted 86 goals in 2019, becoming the only player in school history to score more than 80 goals in a season. The Hofstra transfer also broke her own record in points by 16, totaling 118 on the season. Both of these numbers were good enough to lead the new MAC and earn her the conference's Player of the Year award. And then our next honoree is one of the younger All-Americans on the list, sophomore Carrie McKeever. The Gettysburg attacker put up a stellar second year in a blue and orange, including the MVP of the Centennial Conference Championship. McKeever scored in every game this season, tickling the twine 5 times in 4 different contests. She also became the first player in Bullets history to put up 90 points and grab 90 draw controls in the same season. Expect McKeever to continue leading the charge for Gettysburg and climbing the All-American ranks. Another sophomore attacker to make the cut for the third team is Salisbury's Alexis Strobel. The Bel Air native finished second in the nation with 73 assists, also good for second most in a single season in the Seagulls record books. Strobel was extremely efficient when taking it to cage, finishing with a shooting percentage just below 70% and scoring 23 goals. Thus, she tallied 96 points in her sophomore campaign, which was tied for 8th most in a single season at Salisbury. And finally, the last third-team All-American attacker goes to Ka Sajiowski from Skidmore. The senior went out with a bang, earning the Liberty League Offensive Player of the Year. This comes after Sajiowski led the league in single-season records for the Thoroughbreds in goal and points with 90 and 98. Now, she will leave a legacy at Skidmore as the all-time leader in career points and career goals. Congratulations to all 9 attackers named to the third team. All right, on to the midfielders, as Alexandra Fitzpatrick's teammate from TCNJ is the first mini to make the cut. Grad student Erin Harvey made an impact all over the field for the Lions, leading her team in draw controls and caused turnovers, while also scoring in 15 straight games to close out the season. Her final year to Preview proved to be the best year as she set career highs in 4 different categories, including scoring 4 goals against Colorado College. And the second All-American midfielder is Jess Lyons from Catholic. The 2-time All-Region selection carried the Cardinals on her back to a school record 17 wins. Lyons led her team in goals, points, draw controls, and caused turnovers. The senior was one of 2 players from the Landmark Conference to be selected for the IWLCA Senior All-Star Game. And rounding out the middies is Amherst sophomore Maya Knowles. Now, the 2018 NESCAC Rookie of the Year put up a successful second season as a Mammoth. The Lexington, Massachusetts native was dominant inside the draw circle once again, collecting 76 draws, ranking 6th in the NESCAC. Plus, Knowles finished second on the team with 26 caused turnovers. Plenty of potential for her to race through the ranks with 2 more years to go. Time to finish off the IWLCA third-team All-Americans with the defenders. I mentioned Jess Lyons was one of 2 Landmark Conference members to play in the All-Star Game, right? Well, her teammate and the first defender, Erin Duggan, was the other. In her final year as a Cardinal, Duggan finished 3rd on the team in ground balls and draw controls. She ended her career starting all but 2 games over 4 years and racking up 237 draws. And another senior honoree is Jen Eck from Lebanon Valley. The Flying Dutchman's captain earned the MAC Commonwealth Defensive Player of the Year award after grabbing a league best 109 draw controls. Eck also led her team to unprecedented success, winning their first ever conference championship and earning a NCAA tournament bid for the first time. Couldn't have asked for a better final season for the Reading, Pennsylvania native. And junior Caroline Maxwell was the anchor to Bowden's defensive unit this season, helping the team to a 10.56 goals against average. She led the team with 26 caused turnovers and 33 ground balls this season. Representing Montclair is Leanne McCloskey. The senior defender anchored a unit that finished second in the NJAC in goals allowed. She led the Redhawks with 52 ground balls and was second in caused turnovers with 21. McCloskey also pulled down 63 draws and contributed offensively with 2 goals and 3 assists. McCloskey ranked third in the conference in ground balls, 12th in caused turnovers per contest, and 10th in draw controls. Now to a senior that wrapped up her college career this season, Sabrina Solo. From Amherst, the 3-time IWLCA first-team All-Region selection closed out an impressive collegiate career for Amherst with another noteworthy senior. Sabrina was the anchor of a dominant Amherst defense unit, posting 30 ground ball pickups to go along with a team-leading 32 caused turnovers to lead Amherst to a 14-6 overall record and back to the NCAA quarterfinals for the second straight season. And the last defender making the third team is Molly Tice, the senior who was one of the leaders all season long for the Fisher defense, was also named the Empire 8 Conference Defensive Player of the Year this season. Tice started all 21 games this season and totaled a team-high 57 ground balls to go along with 33 caused turnovers, 12 draws, 3 goals, and 1 assist. And the goalie rep on the third team is Miranda Crone from the College of New Jersey. The senior is a 4-time All-Region performer who helped the Lions to a 14-6 record and a regional appearance this season. Crone is the all-time NCAA Division III record holder for career goals against average and minutes played. Crone was also named first-team All-NJAC and was the goaltender of the year for the conference. All right, welcome back. So let's take a look back at the first team All-Americans. Now for the attack position, 4 different conferences represented for the 7 players. And if you look at what each player contributed to their teams, that's a total of 592 points. A lot of great offense on this attack side. And as for the midfield, the talent is stacked on the first team. 5 players from the position made the first team, and when you look at their stats, each one is loaded. Each player helped their teams in every way when it came to goals, points, draw controls, and ground balls. Courtney Patterson of Gettysburg finished with 100 draw controls, 34 ground balls, and a career-high 50 points on 39 goals and an assist. And when you look at the talent that is represented from the defense on the first team, talk about impressive. A lot of players of the year. There is Caitlin Anderson, who was a 2019 ODAC Defensive Player of the Year. You got Maggie Honchey, who was the Centennial Conference Defender of the Year. Senior and NESCAC Defensive Player of the Year, Haiti Veith is also on that list. And once again, here's a look at the Division III second team. Long list of some amazing, talented women. A lot of schools and a lot of conferences represented on this list. The second team is comprised of 6 midfielders, 5 players from the attack position, and 5 on defense. And then you got 2 goalies in Allegra Grant and Emily Kitchen. And one last look at the women who made the third team. Once again, a big congratulations to all the players who have been honored with being named All-Americans. The third team is loaded with players from the attack position. 9 players in total for this, 3 midfielders, 6 on defense, and 1 goalie in Miranda Crone. For more, here's my conversation with Amy Patton.
What does it mean to be named an All-American at the end of such a great season?
Well, it's such an honor for them. I'm sure that they've put in an enormous amount of time to develop their skills, both physically and mentally. You know, there's a lot of training that goes into being an All-American. You know, that are those hours logged outside of practice, you know, whether it's shooting or footwork or speed training, all those things, you know, everyone's doing it, but those players are doing it more. And they're putting in those extra hours. Coaches will rely on them in those tight situations, or as we call it, the big games. So I'm just really proud of all of them because there's a lot of players that are really good, and to be named to that first team is such an honor, as I said.
And, Amy, you have the player's eye, the coach's eye. What did you learn about this Division III jam-packed talent?
Well, there are a lot of players in Division III that honestly could play at the D1 level. I mean, they're very, very talented and smart, and just really passionate. I was really overwhelmed with watching, so many teams at the D3 level this year. And, first and foremost, the coaches out there at the D3 level are, so smart and talented, and how they teach and how they get their teams ready in such a short amount of time, along with the players doing the same thing. I think a lot of time is put in by those D3 players outside of the normal practice time, showing their commitment and passion. So it was really fun to, see the D3 level, and it's fantastic. I was really, really impressed.
A big thank you to Amy for joining us in this show, and a big congratulations to all of the Division III players that made the All-American list. This is the IWLCA All-American Special. I'm Megan Triplett. Thanks for watching.